I cannot believe the day is here. First of all, happy Valentine's Day. And for me, an even bigger deal. Today is the launch of my love language collection with ODENS Eye, which if you've missed it, includes a 16-pan eyeshadow palette and 5 gorgeous lip shades. If I do say so myself, I'll have my reveal video linked down below. Also a tutorial that I already have up. So I've already talked about this plenty, but today is the launch date, and I thought no better idea than to do my most requested makeup tutorial ever, period, which just so happens to be wearing the palette that I created. So a couple of weeks ago, I was just playing around with my palette, creating some looks, and I went ahead and filmed some content that day, unrelated really to what I was wearing. And honestly, to my surprise, I got hundreds of comments asking me what I was wearing on my eyes. I have never gotten so much response to what I was wearing, and I felt terrible because I could not tell you guys what I was wearing at that time. And I knew there would be a few comments asking what I was wearing on my eyes. I always get asked that, but like it was overwhelming, and it was across all platforms. I wore it in a TikTok and people were like, what's on your eyes? I wore it on Instagram. People are like, what's on your eyes? I wore it on a YouTube video. The most like comment, what is on your eyes? And I have to say, I loved seeing your guys' guesses. And you guys gave me the best compliments, because I saw a few that were like, I think she's wearing Pat McGrath, or I think she's wearing Natasha Denona. And I was like, no girl, I'm wearing my palette with ODENS Eye. So I thought, since the collection is now officially live, that I would finally do the full face, everything that I was wearing tutorial, of course the eye look. But first, I just quickly wanted to take a moment to thank you guys. This is the first video that I'm filming after the palette has been revealed, so this is the first time that I've seen your comments about the reveal, which happened yesterday. I'm filming this on Tuesday, and I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for your support. I was completely overwhelmed by your guys' sweet and kind messages and congratulating me and all of the kind words. Honestly, I mean, I was on a high yesterday. I was on cloud 9 yesterday. I didn't do anything besides sit in front of my computer and read the sweet messages that you guys were giving me, and I'm so sorry I wasn't able to respond to everybody. Like I said, I was just overwhelmed with all of your guys' kind words. So thank you so much. I wanted to take a moment face to face and just let you know that I'm so grateful to you guys. I'm so appreciative of you for taking the time to watch my videos. Anytime that you've commented on my videos, thank you so much. You are the reason that this video today is even possible. I didn't know emotionally how I was gonna feel about this, but truly it's been so amazing, and I've just like never felt so grateful for you guys and for this community. And truly, if you pick anything up from this collection, I so hope you love it. Like, I created this collection hoping that you guys would love it just as much as I do. And that being said, today is launch day. The moment right now that if you are watching it, it means you're able to pick it up. It is available on the ODENS Eye collection. Just going over some price points for you. You can get the whole collection with all of the lip colors and the eyeshadow palette for $96.39. So that will save you some money if you want to save some money. You can also pick up just the eyeshadow palette alone, the love language palette for $43.90. And you can also buy any of my lip colors individually if you don't want the whole bundle. They are $13.90 individually. And if you want to see all of the swatches of everything, make sure you check out that original reveal video. And I think all of our housekeeping is done. Let's get to the dang makeup tutorial. And these are all of the exact same products that I used on the original day that I posted those videos. So for hydration, I'm using the Too Faced Hangover Replenishing Face Primer. Jesus. I love this. It's like a moisturizer on the skin. I loved this primer back in the day, probably like 2018 era for a couple of years, and then I ended up finishing it, and there's just so many makeup primers at launch that I never repurchased. And semi-recently I got my hands on a new tube, and I realized why I loved it so much, even back in the day. Like, this is transcending time here of all of the new primers that have launched, and I'm still loving this for a nice, thick, but soaks in fast face primer. And so while we give that a moment for my skin to drink it up, eyebrows. I also got a lot of comments about my brows that day, and it's just because I was using superb brow products. First and foremost, Rare Beauty Eyebrow Gel. This is magic in a bottle for my eyebrows. Something about the spoolie and the way that it separates each brow hair gives it such a full look. But also, where I place the brows down, they stay. I have full control of how my brows are going to look. So I just press them down nice and close to the skin. Best brow gel in the world. Do you remember when they first came out with this? It was supposed to be limited edition. Oh my gosh, I did not do all the housekeeping for my collection. Pause. Creator codes do not work on collaborations with Odens Eye, so unfortunately no creator code is going to work on this. However, if you buy anything outside of a creator collection, codes do work. So if you want to go ahead and grab your favorite affiliate creator code, feel free to look up somebody else's. I'll have mine right here, but you know, I'm already, with the purchase of this palette, like I am automatically getting a little bit of affiliate earnings here. So if you want to use somebody else for anything else, that's an option. There's so many amazing Odens Eye creators. So just to answer that question, codes do not work on my collection. While that is drying down, I wanted to do like a full coverage, full glam perfected foundation for this look because I knew my look today was going to be quite glam. So I'm using the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation because, yeah, this baby is really perfecting. I mean, it gives me a whole new skin. Ain't nothing natural about this foundation. But I wanted to go glam, and this is one of my go-to glam full coverage foundation. You know, flashback is gonna come back perfect here. So I'm just using my IT Cosmetics number 7 brush to push this into the skin. I like to use my finger to warm up the product and spread it across my skin first to give us the most even amount of coverage. With a foundation that's so much more full coverage like this, I don't want too thick of a layer on my skin for as much as I can help it. So this is the best way to minimize how much product you're using, but still get all of the advantages of the product. Brow gel is definitely all dried now, so I'm gonna go in with, this is just the House Labs brow pencil. Any brow pencil will do, of course. Tis just what I happened to use that day. And I'm going to fill in the sparse areas of my brow, which is normally right in this arch area. And then I kind of like to extend the brow a bit. And then I like to clean up down here a bit as well. So I just do that by creating a little line. And I do think my brows looked a little better that day. You guys know how it goes with makeup. Sometimes you have no control over when it's gonna happen and when it's not. Sometimes the makeup just lays right. And then I'm gonna use my Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Boundless Bisque. It's just a nice light cream colored powdery pencil. So I use this to kind of highlight under the brow, but also to give everything a clean look. Maybe that day in particular, I might have used concealer instead to make it look extra cut and extra sharp. Should I do that today? I think so. It's a special day. It's a special occasion. So I'm just going to take the concealer I'm using today is also by Makeup by Mario. I'm putting some on the back of my hand. I'm taking a Luxie. Does that brand still exist? 246 brush. And I wasted your time with Boundless Bisque. I might go in again afterwards just to brighten it up. But this is going to give the cleanest look to the brow. So I'd recommend a synthetic fiber brush that's on the dense side for this. See, the brows look so fresh now. I'm just going in with Boundless Bisque. Just a little bit less precise now. And I'm gonna take a little bit more of the Makeup by Mario concealer. And I'm just gonna get the blue areas here on the eye. I want to be especially mindful of this since we're using purples and blues today. We don't want any extra to peek out because we don't want to run the risk of looking punched in the face. Like, there's a fine line with purple and blue eyeshadows and looking like somebody sucker punched you in the face. It's just how the makeup game goes. And I'm going to prep my lids with Milani eyeshadow primer. Just a little bit. You know me, I'll have all of the other products that I'm using linked down below for you guys. Oh, this brush is the Persona Base and Conceal brush. It's very good. Okay, exciting part. Let's do it. Let's dive into the palette. So I'm going to take a BK Beauty 201 brush and I'm going to coat my brush in Service. And I'm just going to use that to set our eye primer and make everything nice and easy to blend. Because we're working with purples today, we want to make sure it has a nice smooth canvas for everything to roll on top of. If you missed my original reveal video, I made this sheer on purpose so that we can use it like this. I'm also going to take a shader brush, build that up a little bit, and set underneath my brows, and this will give some brightness to the eye. Like this right here is our utility corner. I dig into so many colors no matter what portion of the palette I'm working with. I'm gonna go ahead and take the same brush and we're going into Crush, which is powdery. It's pretty loosely pressed so that we could get a nice smooth blend on the eye. And I'm going to focus this on the inner and outer corner of the eye. We may go in with this a couple of different times. I knew when I created this palette, I needed to have a lilac or lavender shade in here because, in my opinion, ODENS Eye creates the best lavenders and lilacs in the industry. Big statement. That is quite, but they do create some of my favorites, for sure. So we're going to be a little messy with it. It's okay. You don't have to spend too much time on this because we're going to be building, blending. This is just our base layer here. And we want to leave the center of the lid completely clean if possible. Now I'm going to take a small blending brush. This is a 502 from BK Beauty. And I'm going into Date Night here just a little bit. And I'm keeping this tighter to the lash line and just working in circles. Make sure you tap off the brush. When it comes to eyeshadow application, I do prefer a slow build. So I start off with very little particles on my brush and I build up as necessary. And this look is a halo eye. So as you can see, I'm still leaving that center of the eyelid clean. Super easy to work with. Being very light-handed here and building up as I see necessary. But again, we're still in the base layer shades. So I always have the ability to build up later. But it's better to start off lighter because you can always add depth. It's more difficult to take it away. Oh, I didn't realize I was going to be really teaching you guys today, but I'm feeling it. Miss Turner is back in class. Okay, I'm going to take a shader brush. This one is from What's Up Beauty. It's an R110. And when I added Treat right here to the palette, like, I knew I needed it. It wasn't my favorite purple shade, but I knew I was going to need it for certain looks like today. So she has her purpose. Even though I might have wanted it to be an obnoxious glittery shade, it's more important to get these shades that you just need to really refine a look. So I love this because this is going to be the perfect bridge between that dark matte shade to the light shimmer shade. It's going to make the look so much more refined and seamless. So that is really the main reason I popped this shade in here. it needs to be a bridge to those light shimmery shades for looks that you have added depth to. And you'll notice I did leave my under eyes blank just because purple fallout can be a disaster if it ends up sticking to your makeup. Again, it'll give you that punched in the eye effect. So better safe than sorry. I'm gonna take the original brush I used and soften out here. And I think I want to go back in with a little bit of crush. I'm gonna take a blending brush which has more of a pointed tip. This is the Nikki LaRose BK Beauty collaboration and 13 brush. And I'm just going to place it at the top and blend these out again. Okay, star of the show, you already know, is Flirt here. It just makes me laugh because I wasn't sure if I was going to put this in the palette because I don't like blue really. But I felt like it would just add a unique element to the purple side of the palette here. And you guys are eating it up. I think it's everybody's favorite shade because it's a purple blue duochrome. It is more sheer because I also created it with the intention to layer over different colored matte shades to kind of change how those shift. But it is also gorgeous on bare lid like I'm doing today, but I'm also blending it in with that Flirt shade, and I'm bringing it all the way up to my brow bone. This color can be used with a brush if need be, but like most ODENS eye shimmers, you can get a little bit more with the fingers. Just for application notes, by the way, I do recommend fingers with 829, Gifts, and Heart. All of the other shimmers work great with brushes, but they'll still work better with fingers in some cases, depending on the opaqueness of what you want. Now at this moment, you take a look, you see what you think could be blended more, added more. For me, I want just a little bit more Flirt to really blend, no, Treat, excuse me. I want a little bit more Treat to really blend Flirt and Treat together seamlessly. So I'm just going back and forth on my lid. You might feel like you want more depth with Date Night. Whatever you're feeling. And I know a lot of people use glitter glue with ODENS eye. I really don't. The one I would say you probably need it the most with is 829, but I didn't add too many like chunky formulas in here because I don't like using glitter glue. Okay, next up, I'm taking an angled brush. This is an E67 from Blinged Brush, and I'm going into Date Night here. And I created this with a harder press. I sacrificed some of that softness and not blendability, but I did sacrifice some softness so that this would apply easier as an eyeliner. Because if you know me, I love not having to grab for an eyeliner and just being able to pop into eyeshadow. It's easier too. So I'm just lining the upper lash line by pressing that on. Then I'm going in with another small brush and I'm going into Touch right here, which is just a nice champagne-y gold shade to brighten up the inner corner. I love this shade. It is so buttery. It's gorgeous all over the lid. It's gorgeous as highlight. Just adds so much light into this look. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do what I can never resist, a wing. I just love how deep this can get, but you can still see that it's purple. I said in my reveal video if I could have had a 17th shade, it would have been a black, but I also just didn't want to waste my 16 pans on a black, since most people have blacks anyways. But a black would do a lot to this palette as well, to the looks you can create. So with messing with such dark purple shades, we do have a little bit of fallout, which is why I advise, especially with the purple shades. And if you're using the glimmery shimmeries, have a makeup wipe present. Because think about it, if you have your concealer done and then you have purple fallout on your eye and it gets mixed in, you look so tired. So you really don't want a single purple particle out of place. And if you want, you can take a moment to clean up under here if you would like. Make sure nice and dry. You don't want the makeup to mix in with the makeup remover. And I ain't playing with no dark circles today, so I'm going to color correct. I'm starting off with the Natasha Denona Color Correct in C2. Just a little bit for purples and blues. Get underneath the eye. For color correctors, you shouldn't have to use too much of it. You just want a wash. And then we're going to start pulling it together now. I'm using Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Concealer in 200. And this is a nice long-wearing concealer. It's a little on the dry side, which I think is good for oily skin, because despite it being on the dry side, it doesn't suck away life out of my skin, but it does set down, is what I mean by drier. So it's long-lasting. But particularly if you have oily skin, it's a great product to have. Just really perfecting. And I do want to contour and shape the face a little bit with cream. So I'm digging into my Dibs Beauty Duo in the shade 2.5, just the bronzer side. So I'm just going to get it on this Sigma F08 brush. And I'm going to blend that upwards for a little bit of color. And this is a perfect color. It's not too warm, not too cool. I love these Dibs cream duos. And then for a little bit more detailed sculpting, I'm taking my Patrick Ta 4 Contour 3 brush and I'm putting some under the lip and down the center of the nose. Not the true center. You know what I'm saying. For a little bit of shaping. So on the original day, I used the old formula of Givenchy Prism powder. But since that doesn't exist anymore and it's been replaced with hot garbage, I'm going to use Sugar Cookie from Huda Beauty. Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder. You could also use Cherry Blossom Cake from Huda if you want pink like I used the first time. But I'm just going to press this into the face. I did not mean to get that much powder on. I meant for it to be like this side. But that's okay. We're going to take some of that. We're going to push it into other parts of the face, which is where I have pores over here and up here where I would like a little bit of blurring. Gosh, setting powder just snatches the face, doesn't it? And then if you want to bring some hydration, I do love me some M Cosmetics Divine Water Perfecting Mist. That will give us a shot of hydration if you are a fellow dry skin gal like myself. Oh, you know what I used? My mirror is sitting on top of it. The Jouer Light to Medium Bronzer Duo. This has the most beautiful colors, and I just lightly set my cream bronzer with this. Just the lightest shade, no real, rhyme or reason to it. Just boom, boom, boom. Love this. Underhyped. Okay, we can move back to the eyeballs, back to the good stuff, back to the palette, which it's really simple up to this point. I kind of follow suit with what I did on the upper eye. So I'm taking Crush on the inner and outer corner. This is an Esam S31. I want to use something a bit tighter. What's Up Beauty R101. We're going into date night. And I'm going to smudge that close to my lash line, not going quite as low as I did with Crush. Put that on the inner corner as well. Again, keeping it tight to the lash line. And then I think what made the look so special is Flirt. I'm just using a brush and patting that right in the center here. Just for that little bit of sparkle effect. Oh no, this is why I didn't want to use my finger. That's okay. And this will really gleam through once we get lashes on, because I was unimpressed with this look. That's what's funny. I was unimpressed with this look, honestly, until I put on lashes and I was like, okay, acceptable. I can wear this. And then so many people wanted to know what I did. And then the last very special necessary thing that I did, I took the nice tight little angled brush into date night and I made a little wing kind of following the angle of my outer wing. And this makes every look so much more dramatic and just special. And then, you guys know I keep talking about the shade Amore. Don't sleep on this as a blush. It's the most beautiful pinky blush. And every time I wear it, I'm asked what's on my cheeks. And it's this blush. It gives that bubblegum candy cotton pink look, but it's not on my skin tone, right? This isn't gonna work for every skin tone, unfortunately. I wish I could have had a version for every skin tone of this. But if you're my skin tone, this is that perfect pink blush. I love it. I could tone it down a little bit, but I still love it. I just wanted to show you the color. But I'm going to take my foundation brush over it a little bit. Okay, and then lashes. I'm doing a mixture of my Lancome loves. So we have the Definitions mascara, which I prefer for my lower lashes, and then Monsour Big for the upper lashes. And then I'm going to dig through my Falsie collection. I'll let you know after I have them on what they are, because I cannot remember. That's the one thing I don't know what I had on that day. So I'm going to do these off camera. I'm going to listen to some music and vibe out a little bit. You know? Okay. Right. Hold the whole look together. Lashes are Velour Cloud 9. Now lips, I don't really remember what lip liner I was wearing, so I'm just going to go with the safe one. Pat McGrath Contour. Just the best neutral color. Just on the outskirts. Because the star of the show, the lippy I want to wear is Kisses. Now I think Kisses was actually, I think this is the most popular shade that people are loving the most. Rightfully so. If you missed my video, I created this out of pure selfish reasons. I wanted a color that was nude-ish and would match like purple blue looks, and I created it, you guys. Kisses and Love Language are my two favorite shades in the collection, I would say, if you're wanting my top 2 recommendations. So my lips are very pigmented right now because I just got off some of the dead skin. I want to show you because this formulation is full pigment, but it's not sticky. Look at that. Excuse my crusty lips. That's a personal problem, but thankfully these are quite hydrating. Look at this color. It is gorgeous, and I've seen it on multiple skin tones, and it's gorgeous, especially when paired with the right lip liner. Contour is a good one from Pat McGrath, or any kind of neutral taupe color. But look at this. Do you see the vision? This shade was created to be worn with colors like these. So if you never know what to pair with those colors, might I recommend this one? It does not take away from what's going on the eyes. Biased, of course, but I stinking love this color. This is the color that I've needed on my life for so many looks, and the formula is gorgeous as well. And there we have it. That is the full in-depth tutorial for my most requested look ever, and it is like beautiful as ever. I'm gonna have to wear this for the rest of the day. If you have any questions, be sure to ask them in the comments. Remember, the Love Language collection I did in collaboration with ODENS, I obviously used today, is officially available right now. I will have the links to those in the description box. And again, a huge thank you to you guys for your support and making this possible. This has been the craziest, most adrenaline-filled week for me. I've been so nervous, but I've just loved the opportunity to sit down, play with makeup, play with my palette, create some different looks that I maybe not have done in a while, create some looks that I get to be creative with and have fun with. And if you pick anything up, even just one little lipstick, thank you so much for supporting my collection and all the hard work that went into this. I hope you love whatever you end up with. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you guys in the next one. And this isn't the last you've heard of this palette. Fortunately or unfortunately for you, depending what side you're on, but I ain't done anytime soon.
It's delicious.